homeless boy crashes a high society wedding and takes the mic. What follows will leave everyone speechless. This is a story you won't forget. A homeless boy came to the wedding, but when he took the microphone, something amazing happened. The grand chandeliers sparkled above the elegant wedding hall. Guests in black suits and shimmering gowns whispered politely as waiters glided by with glasses of champagne. At the center of the room, the bride, a beautiful white woman in a flowing white gown, stood beaming beside her handsome groom, both surrounded by an air of happiness and wealth. No one noticed the small pair of eyes watching from behind the heavy velvet curtains. The boy, no older than 10, stood barefoot, wearing nothing but torn brown pants and an old shirt hanging off his thin body. His dark skin was smudged with dust. His belly growled quietly. Outside, no one had paid attention when the boy had snuck past the catering truck, unloading supplies at the back door. He knew this place. He had watched the workers. He had listened to them speak of the wedding, the richest family in the city. The boy wasn't here to steal. He was here for something more important. Clutching a folded, crumpled photo in one hand, he whispered to himself, "She's here. I know it." Moments earlier, he had tried to ask a waiter. The waiter had shoved him away. Another man had grabbed his arm roughly, but the boy wriggled free, ducking under a table, slipping through the crowd unnoticed. He was small, fast, and desperate. Now he stood frozen in the shadows, his eyes locked on the bride. It was her. He was certain. Music began to play softly. The host approached the microphone at the front of the room. "Ladies and gentlemen," the host smiled. A moment of silence. The couple wishes to say a few words. The bride took her bouquet, glancing lovingly at her groom. That was when the boy moved. He darted from the curtains. His small bare feet pattered softly across the polished marble floor. Gasps rose from the crowd. "What is this? Who let him in? He's filthy. Get him out." But before anyone could stop him, the boy reached the front where the vintage microphone stood on its tall silver stand. The host tried to grab him. The boy dodged. The groom's father motioned to security, but they were too far back. And then the boy gripped the microphone with both hands. The groom fell silent. For a moment, the bride's mouth opened in shock. Her groom stared, eyes wide. All around them, the guests looked on, some with horror, others with curiosity. The boy's voice trembled, but it was loud, clear, determined. "I'm sorry," he began, "but I had to come. I had to say this." The boy swallowed, his voice cracking. 3 years ago, I was living on the street alone. I was cold. I was starving. People would walk past me, not seeing me. Gasps echoed in the crowd. The boy reached into his pocket. His small hand shook as he unfolded the old, worn photograph. A picture of a beautiful young woman in a white dress handing a blanket to a tiny, dirty boy sitting in the rain. The boy held up the photo. "This woman, this bride, saved me. She gave me food. She gave me hope. I never forgot her face." A wave of murmurs spread through the crowd. The bride stared at the photo. Her lips parted in disbelief. Her hands flew to her mouth. She remembered. Years ago, before she met her fiancé. On a cold night, rushing home, she had seen a small boy huddled near a market, freezing in the rain. Without thinking, she had wrapped her own coat around him, given him bread, whispered, "Don't give up. Life will change. You'll be okay." Tears welled in her eyes. She had never told anyone. The boy continued, gripping the microphone tighter. "That day I promised I would find her again. And today I came to thank her." The room was frozen. The groom took the bride's trembling hand. Then the boy's voice rose. "But there is more." Gasps again. "The charity that saved me, gave me a place to sleep, taught me to read." He turned toward the groom. "It was your family's foundation." Everyone stared. The groom's father looked stunned. He whispered to his wife. The bride burst into tears. The boy's voice cracked with emotion. "I never had a mother. I never had hope. But that day, she gave me both." Silence. Then the groom stepped forward. "Who are you?" he asked softly. Before the boy could answer, the bride knelt before him, her eyes full of tears. "Wait a second. Tell us where you are watching from in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this." "I remember you," she whispered. "Oh my God, it's really you." At that moment, the boy's lip trembled. The entire room erupted in stunned gasps. The entire wedding hall had fallen silent. The little boy stood gripping the microphone, eyes wide, chest rising and falling. His ragged brown shirt hung from his thin frame. the dust of the streets clinging to his skin. Before him, the bride, a beautiful white woman in her shining wedding gown, knelt in tears. "It's really you," she whispered, her voice trembling. From the market that night, her groom knelt beside her, resting a hand on her back. The boy stared at her, then slowly nodded. "Yes," he said softly. "I never forgot." Behind them, the groom's father, Mr. Whitaker, the patriarch of the wealthy family, rose from his chair, his face pale. The boy turned toward the older man. His voice, though shaking, was clear. "Your foundation gave me a home after she helped me. I owe both of you my life." Gasps echoed through the room. Several guests wiped away tears. The bride's mother, Mrs. Whitaker, sitting in the front row, brought a handkerchief to her eyes. The boy reached into his pocket again, this time pulling out a crumpled, handwritten letter. "I came today not to ruin your wedding," he said, voice rising with emotion. "I came to deliver this." Mr. Whitaker stepped forward. "What is it?" The boy unfolded the letter. His hands shook. "The director of your foundation told me to give this to you, to read it in front of everyone." A long pause. The room seemed to hold its breath. The boy read, "To the family whose kindness saved countless lives. Please know this boy is a symbol of your goodness. His story is not unique. There are many more, and today he comes to thank you and to ask one thing. Will you allow him to call this family his own?" The room gasped again. The boy's small voice broke. "I have no parents, I have no name, but I have hope, and if you will, please let me be part of this day." Suddenly, the bride's sobs broke the silence. She rose, tears streaming down her cheeks. She rushed forward, pulling the boy into her arms. "Yes," she cried. "You are part of this family, today and forever." The groom followed, embracing them both. The boy clung to her, sobbing into her white dress. All around them the guests stood, some applauding, some crying openly. Mr. Whitaker approached slowly, his voice deep with emotion. "You young man, you are welcome here. You honor us." He knelt beside the boy, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. The bride looked at her groom, and then at the boy. Would you walk with us?" she asked. The boy looked up, eyes shining with tears. He nodded. "Yes." And so, hand in hand, the bride, the groom, and the little boy walked down the aisle together as the guests cheered. Outside, the sunlight poured through the tall windows. A new family, a new beginning. And in that moment, something amazing had truly happened. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales. And let us know in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? We love hearing from all of you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.